Calcium hydroxide is used to neutralize a waste stream of hydrochloric acid. Write a complete formula equation, an ionic equation, and a net ionic equation for this neutralization reaction. So the first thing for part A is to write a complete formula equation, right? Calcium hydroxide. So we know calcium takes calcium ion has a positive charge of 2, and hydroxide has a negative charge of 1, right? So we need 2 hydroxide ions per every calcium ion. So we write a 2 like that. Okay? And this is aqueous, right? Because we're talking about neutralization. So, and then we add the acid, right? The hydrochloric acid. So hydrochloric acid, as you should know, the hydrogen atom, ion has positive 1 charge, and chlorine has negative 1 charge, right? So we can just write HCl. There are no subscripts, in other words, because they both equal the same number. One negative, the other one's positive, right? Also aqueous. And this, right, produces a salt, right? And the salt is going to be obviously calcium chloride, right? Because we will need the hydrogen, the oxygen for the water, right? So we need the Cl and the Ca, right? The calcium chloride. Now again, calcium chloride, calcium has a charge of 2 plus, right? Chlorine has a charge of 1 minus, so we need 2 chlorine ions per every 1 calcium ion, right? And of course this is aqueous. And then we will have water, right? H2O, and this will be liquid. Okay, so now we need to balance the equation, because right now it's not balanced, right? Because see here, the chlorine has 1 atom, here chlorine has 2. So why don't we put 2 here, right? Why don't we put 2 there? Let me actually use another color. So we're going to put 2 there. And as a result, we have 2 hydrogen atoms and 4 hydrogen atoms, right? Here we have 2 instead of 4, so we need another 2 here. Now we have 2 oxygen atoms, which matches this number of atoms, right? 2. And the calcium has 1, and so is on the left side. So everything is balanced now. So part B is to write an ionic equation, right? So an ionic equation means we have to break this up. So calcium 2 plus, aqueous, right? In other words, we're breaking up the compounds into individual participant ions, right? Calcium 2 plus plus. Now this is where you got to be careful, right? Because now we're talking about individual compounds or ions, right? So in this case we're talking about hydroxide, right? Hydroxide here. So hydroxide is an ion, right? But there's a subscript 2, so we have to write a 2 like that, right? Because we can't we're gonna write it in ionic form, so we can't use the 2 as a subscript, right? We have to write it this way. 2 is the coefficient. Okay, and that and then one more, 2H plus and then one more thing, 2Cl, right? 2Cl minus, aqueous, gives us calcium 2 plus, breaking this up, plus chlorine, well 2, right? 2 chlorine, so 2 chlorine minus plus 2H2O, right? We don't break this up because that's water. Okay, so now to find the net ionic equation, we need to cancel out the ions that are on both sides of the equation of the reaction, right? As you can see, there's a 2Cl minus on both sides. We cancel that. And there's a calcium 2 plus on both sides. We cancel that, right? So as a result, we have this 2OH minus plus 2H aqueous is equal to 2H2O liquid. But we need to divide both sides by 2. to get rid of these coefficients. Right? So as a result, we have this OH minus aqueous plus H plus aqueous is yielding us water, H2O liquid. Right? So this is the net ionic equation. Net ionic equation. Hope this was helpful. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.